Hello and welcome to Agile Contracts. In this video, we'll give an overview of some types of contracts and their suitability to Agile projects. Contracts help organizations manage their risks and resources. In traditionally managed projects, the most commonly used contract is a fixed price contract. Fixed price contracts aren't generally the best for Agile projects as they assume a fixed scope. They also place risk on the team implementing the project because if the work ends up exceeding the estimate or if requirements change, which they frequently do, the team has to bear that loss and still continue with the promised scope. Another issue that may occur is that developers may realize they can improve a product by enhancing some features and removing others. But with a fixed price contract, they feel bound by exactly the scope that's defined in the contract. So instead of focusing on what's best for the product and the customer, developers become bound by legal limitations that are no longer in the customer's best interest. In theory, a possible solution is for a contract to specify the overall business goals that a project team must enable a customer to meet instead of specifying detailed technical requirements. However, this isn't always practical because in terms of legal requirements, business goals need to be defined in monetary terms, which can be difficult. So, for example, if one of the business goals is improve the customer experience, a court-safe contract would require an unambiguous, measurable, monetary-based result that proves that this goal has been met. Even when business goals can be defined in monetary terms, market forces and other factors outside a project team's control could prevent a customer from achieving its business goals. So it's generally better for a team to be held responsible for the scope agreed upon with the customer rather than for specific business goals. Another problem with fixed price contracts is that they foster mistrust. So if either party tries to make a change to the requirements in this type of contract, it often results in arguments about who will bear the cost of the change. This creates a confrontational atmosphere rather than a collaborative one, and we know that this violates the Agile value of customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Contracts that are suitable for Agile projects include service contracts with a series of fixed price contracts, cost reimbursable or time and materials contracts, not to exceed with fixed fee contracts, and incentive contracts. You can also use different contract types for each of the Agile development phases. So, for example, in the initiation phase, you may use a service contract, which instead of measuring a specific deliverable, like product development, we're measuring time and cost and materials spent on coming up with, for example, a roadmap or a plan or a story map within that project. The next phase, or the development phase, may be a series of fixed price contracts for each iteration. Some variants on the fixed price contract include fixed range contracts. So we may have a range of cost between X and Y dollars, for example. Fixed price per user story. And then cost reimbursable or time and materials contracts operate on a pay-as-you-use basis. So it's in the client's hands to decide whether or not to pay the team to spend more time or more resources on developing additional requirements, making changes or enhancements, or fixing issues. A not to exceed with fixed fee contract can protect both the development team and the customer. It's made up of a fixed fee base as well as a not to exceed condition. So it may be, for example, that our fixed fee base for this project is X dollars, and then the not to exceed condition is we will not exceed 15% of that base. Incentive contracts motivate a development team by offering rewards for good performance. Some types of incentive contracts include fixed price with an incentive. So there's a fixed price for the project, but there's an incentive to deliver early or on time or on budget, which may be an additional bonus amount. Cost reimbursable with an award fee. Percentage increase or decrease based on time, so you may get a percentage more or less based on whether you spend more or less time on the project. And then fixed price per user story with additional hourly rate. A contract for an Agile project should also specify when the customer will be available to answer questions from the team. It's very important for the team members to know when and how to contact the customer for questions, as they come up frequently during a project. We also want to know the customer turnaround time for acceptance testing, making decisions, answering questions, and providing information. This allows us to understand how timely we can also be with our deliverables, since a lot of our work is going to be dependent on the customer accepting our work product. Also, we want to know specific dates when new releases will be sent to the customer. It's important for us to know whether the customer has specific milestones that we need to stick to.